Shadcn just did a major update, and it has a whole new project workflow, a visual equalizer, optional base UI support, just juicy stuff everywhere. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what was added, why it was added, how the new workflow works, and what you actually get out of it. So first things first, the idea of Shadcn was customizability. You can pick up and get your UI component ASAP and start building your project. Ever since I learned of Shadcn, I have been using Shadcn. And like most people that I know, front-end developers, they are always using Shadcn. So much that everybody just uses it. And according to them, every website started to look the same. People were not exactly customizing this component. I wasn't as much as well. I would just make little changes here and there, but the components will still look like Shadcn components. So pretty much, Shadcn is just introducing like customizability, like you guys get out of the box. That's pretty much what Shadcn was saying. He's saying with this new update, right? And the second problem is Radix UI. Shadcn was kind of built on Radix UI, and Radix UI, while it is still active, Radix UI has slowed down significantly in terms of active development. And the core team behind Radix UI has also moved on to base UI. So if you go on the baseui.com, you would have it there from the creators of Radix, Floating UI, Material UI. So base UI is like the new baby girl in town. Pretty much there was two growing tension: visual sameness. Everybody was looking the same. Every website was looking the same because everybody's using Shadcn. So problem one, visual sameness, and problem two, an aging underlying primitive layer, which is Radix UI. And this update from Shadcn is responding to both. So Shadcn is kind of now like no longer a place where you just go to pluck components. I kind of feel like they are moving into like this design system generator vibe, where like you go there to actually create your own design system. So instead of the usual workflow of starting with the components, you start with your design foundation, like your spacing, your shape language, your typography, iconography, the density, and the primitive foundation, because there's now base UI, right? And then your components now fall out of that system that you built, and they kind of align to that design system that you have dictated. So now if you go on the Shadcn documentation website, you have this new project button that wasn't there before. So you can click on new project, and on the left side here you have your blocks. You can use 11 labs. You can play around with this, and there's ChatGPT, there's Vercel, but most importantly in this video there are the components. You have the list of existing Shadcn components, right? And then in the middle you have the live preview. Let me go back to home. You have this live preview, and on the side you have like the settings, the customization stuff here. So yeah, you kind of like you now have a component library selection where you can choose between Radix or base UI, guys. And I think another important thing is the style, right? So usually we would have like this normal Shadcn style, and then you can choose a color theme. From before, you used to have like slate, stone, or something, but now the styling goes beyond that. So the style that you choose from here controls the spacing, padding, the border radius feel, and the overall visual personality, right? So here we have Vega, and we have, which is like the classic Shadcn look from way before, and we have Nova. This one is kind of like there's reduced padding compared to Vega. I really love this. And we have Maya, which is like really rounded and soft and all of that, and it also still has general spacing. And Lyra, which is boxy and sharp. I love this because I feel like we are no longer using boxy components, guys. Even I don't use them. I'm always using like my buttons, my input field always has like this round corner, like the Shadcn vibe. So it's so nice that this is here, Lyra. You can see that as I am clicking, the whole this is changing literally. And the last one is Myra, which is very compact for dense interfaces. I'm just gonna pick Myra or Mira or whatever. And then you can now choose a base color and a theme. So those are like two separate color decisions that you have to make. Your base color is the natural palette that controls the theme of the component. For example, we have it on neutral now. If I change it to stone, you can see like a change. And if I change it to zinc, it changes a bit. It's not that noticeable, but I think I like zinc. Okay, this is like the base color that you will see on backgrounds, borders, text. And then the theme color is like your primary brand color, like your accent color. It's the color you will see on buttons, toggle, radio, highlights. And of course, it's not like written in stone. You have some options here. You can choose one of these, or you can just change it later in your CSS, right? So you can choose yellow. You can see we have a yellow. If I choose violet, rose, red, orange. I love this orange. So we're just going to go for this. But choosing a brand color, it gives like your design system cohesiveness. It just gives like that finished look, kind of. And then you get to choose your icon library. And by default, you would have Lucid, but there's also Tabla icons, huge icons, phosphor icons. I love Lucid icons, so I'm just going to go for Lucid. But I also love phosphor icons. I got to use them in Figma the other day, and It's really nice. But yeah, Lucid. And you can also choose your font. We have Inter, and we're just going to go for Noto Sans. And you can choose your radius. Your radius, this is default. You choose from the style. From Mira, from Nova, they all come with their default radius. So you can choose that default. So you can take it from the style or you can change. I'm just going to keep mine as it is. And yes, you can just keep choosing a bunch of stuff here. Another cool thing is this shuffle. So you can pretty much just shuffle and just tell it, pick something random, pick a random style, pick a random theme, pick a random base color. And it's so cool. If you keep clicking shuffle, it keeps going on and on and on and on, different style, different format. And you can get some inspiration of, oh, this is how I want my website to look like. This is how I want my app to look like. And you can just shuffle and try random stuff by just clicking the shuffle button. And you can, there's a reset button where you can reset as well. And let's go back and choose our color again, the initial color we chose. So I'm going for Zinc, Lucid, and font is Noto Sans. Yeah, okay. And yes, we chose base UI instead of Radix UI. Okay, that kind of changed everything. We chose Myra here. Okay. So for base UI, no long story. Base UI is pretty much just like the successor of Radix UI in a way, created by the same people. It has the same accessibility guarantee, the same headless philosophy. And unlike Radix UI, it is being actively maintained. And the good thing is that it is built by the same people, the same set of people. The people who worked on Radix, and they now have contributor from, I think, Floating UI and Material UI. So it's pretty much a better Radix UI. So for our project, we are choosing base UI. And then this is like, oh my God, the part that I love the most. You can just pretty much create project, choose a template. Currently there is Nest.js, Tanstax, and Vite. So you can just choose a template and select your package manager, whether it's PNPM or NPM. I'm going to choose NPM because NPM warrior here. And just copy the command and you are able to like scaffold your project with all of these settings that we have here, literally. So if I open my terminal, let me go to my code folder. I just have to run this command. It has all my settings here in like as parameters or something. And I run it. Let us name our project Shadcn update. It's creating my Nest.js project. When you run this command, you get a fully wired Nest.js project, or whether it is Vite that you chose or Tanstack. Component.json is already configured. You have your global CSS already, and it is aligned to the design system you chose on the customizing page, literally. And for me, I feel like it's just a very great onboarding update. Thank you. So I'm just going to open this in my code editor. Let's open it up in Cursor. So right here, we see like our component.json is here. We have a few UI components and we have like the component example, just the way we see it on like this place is going to be there in our project. And I think that is really cool. Let's run this project very quickly. npm install, and then we have npm run dev. Let's open in Cursor browser so we stay on the same. And that is it. I don't know why it's in light mode, but yeah, that is it, guys. You have your design system, you have all of your selection in your project. I really love that. It's so my vibe. So to upgrade like maybe your existing project where you use Shadcn to this new mode, right? I don't think there is no automatic upgrade button or command yet. But if you want to use this system in your existing project and not a new project like we did, you can set up the design system like we did on Shadcn website, create a new project and maybe just grab your UI folder, copy your configs and your styles, and that'll be it. I guess that would work. And of course, this update still has a few limitations. Even if you select base UI, some components are still using Radix UI because I don't think base UI is available for everything yet. So not every Shadcn component has a base UI equivalent. So if you go on some components, you will still see that it still uses Radix UI even if you select base UI. So if base UI is not available for that product, for that component, it will still use Radix UI. But that is not exactly like a great or crazy blocker. I'm sure it is something they will still perfect at the end of the day. But this is cool. This is nice. I love it. So who is this update for? If you are a sucker for Shadcn, I am. Welcome. I'm definitely going to use this because this is so cool and so nice. If you want UI consistency, which is like the idea behind Shadcn, this is also good for you. You set your brand, color, your theme, and it's just uniform across board. It's nice. And if you don't want your app to look like everybody's app, your button to look like everybody's button, your menu to look like everybody's menu, then this is for you because you get different customization and styles and you can choose your theme. It's just so perfect if you want something different, right? And if you're like, no, I want to keep using Shadcn the way I used to use Shadcn, Shadcn is still up for you to use that way. So this is not like you have to use it, at least not for now. I don't know. I don't work at Shadcn, so I don't make that decision. But currently, it's not like you have to use it this way, kind of. But you can just keep using it the way you've been using it. But yeah, this is just the new vibe. You get full ownership of your design system, and that is nice. That is amazing. Big shout out to Shadcn for this amazing update. Anyways, that's about that for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, if you liked it, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to drop your comment. If there's anything you notice that you don't like, your suggestion or your question, please drop it in the comment section and I'll make sure that I respond to it. Thank you so much and bye.